Good morning. Welcome to some seated exercises. My name is John Jordan. I'm the wellness director here at Heritage House. So we're going to do everything today in the chair. There are a lot of exercises you can do while seated, not only for your upper body, but for your lower body, for your arms, chest, legs, lots of different things we can do. So we always start out with just a simple little walk. Just get your feet moving a little bit. Very simple movement, but it starts to use some of the biggest muscles in our body, which is our legs. Don't stomp when you're doing it, but don't tiptoe either. Just try and make it a normal movement. And this immediately starts to fire the big mover muscles, the quadricep muscles. Very important for walking, standing, getting up and down, going up and down stairs. All right, let's make it a little more dramatic by bringing our knees up higher. So think of raising your knees and not just moving your feet higher. Raise those knees. That fires up your hip flexor muscles, which are very important for picking up your feet when you walk so you don't trip. Very good. Back to a normal walk again. Sometimes when we do something that takes a little more energy, then we go back to something to help us recover a little, and just a normal walk is very good for that. So we'll come back to this movement in between. All right, so let's just try one foot. We focus on one side at a time. And how long do you know to do an exercise? Well, you do it till you're tired, and then try and do a few more repetitions, and then switch. It's those exercises you do after you get tired that really make you stronger. Good. Back to an easy walk again. This is our recovery. I call this active recovery. We don't just stop and sit, we keep moving. All right, let's walk on our heels, tipping those toes up as high as you can. And that's going to fire those front muscles, our extensor and flexor muscles in our lower legs. Very important. Good. Normal, easy walk again. I like to start with the legs because they're the biggest muscles in our body. They'll get your heart beating a little faster because it takes more work to pump the blood into all those big leg muscles. Very good. Let's do both feet at a time. Now, if you need a little stability, you can hang on to the front of your chair. Now, you're doing these in your own chair. I like to use these armless chairs just because you don't bang your elbows against them. Good. Whew. That's harder. Easy walk again. And then let's try moving and working the hip. So we're going to start with one leg, clear out to the side. Don't be in a hurry. The distance is more important than speed here. So we're trying to move that almost like opening a door. So the hinge is your hip. That one's starting to get tired. So we stop and just transfer to the other side. Open and close like a gate. Far as you can go to the side, keeping your body facing forward. Good. Good one for your brain is to alternate right and then left. One side gets to rest for just a second while the other side is working. Good. Regular walk again. Back to that regular walk. This is our recovery. Heart rate gets to settle down a little. We get to catch our breath. Good. Let's do some out front. So we'll put our feet on the heels out in front and we'll just pump them up and down together. Very much like if you were playing one of those old pump organs, or the old treadle sewing machine. Very good. Now alternate right and left. And we're trying to go as far down and up with those feet as we can. It's called range of motion. We always try to get a big, full range of motion when we do exercises. Good. Let's hold them together and then just open them apart. It's like opening a book and then closing again. Open and close. Stretching those hip flexors again. Working those inner thigh muscles a little bit. Out into the outer hip joint. Very healthy for your hips. Now hold them together and go back and forth. Just like a windshield, set of windshield wipers. Back and forth. They're coordinated. They're going in the same direction. Very good. Let's take both those legs and just pick the feet up. We straighten our knees as much as we can. Just hold them in the air and let's just point and flex. You point your toes forward and then flex and pull back. And again, we're doing these simultaneously. The feet are going in the same direction. Now we're going to end up doing enough exercises with our legs in the air that they're going to get a pretty good workout just holding your feet up off the floor. Let's alternate point and flex now. So first the right and then the left foot points, flex, point, flex. Now if you get tired at home when you're doing this, it's okay if you haven't done a lot of exercise and you really get tired, you need to set your feet down and rest for a second, but don't do that too long or too often. We want to keep those muscles working. Good. All right, this one is another way to relax. We just kick our legs. This is called a flutter kick in swimming. The toes are slightly pointed and we're just kicking. Very fundamental movement. It also simulates the movement when we walk. Your legs are moving like this. Good. Kick them both together. In swimming, this would be a dolphin kick. Dolphins kick that fin up and down. That's what propels them through the water. Most fish go laterally, back and forth. Dolphins, it's vertically. Very good. All right, let's kick again and relax a little bit. Keeping those muscles working the whole time. Now we're going to do a cross kick where we alternate one on top and then the other one on top. Back and forth. This is very good for the outside of the hips. And of course, the whole time we're doing these, we're using those big quadricep leg muscles. Good. Little easy kick again to recover. And rest. Just set your legs down. Let's cross one foot over the other and just relax. We're going to do a couple of little stretches here as we transition to doing one leg at a time. Let's stretch some of those muscles we've been using. First easy stretch is just to reach forward, almost like you're going to tie your shoes. Try to get your fingertips down to the laces on your shoes. Maybe drop your head down a little bit. Just relax. And breathe normally. Do not hold your breath. Now let's go ahead and reach on down, see if we can get clear to the toes. And again, drop that head down to stretch your upper back into your neck. Very good. Come up. Now you'll notice we've got one foot on top. Let's switch and do the same series of stretches. First, the tie your shoes stretch. Reach for those laces. Drop that head down. Relax and breathe. And then reach on down for the toes. You're going to feel this pull the back of your legs also up into your lower back. Very good. Come on up. Here's a real easy morning stretch. You put your feet flat on the floor about hip width apart, not too wide, not together. And we're just going to lean down, try and touch the floor. Just lean ahead, kind of lay your shoulders down on your knees. Let that head fall forward. And just relax your arms. Let your fingers hang. If they're touching the floor, that's fine. If not, that's all right too. First, raise your head up, and then go ahead and sit up. Now, anytime we bend down like that, the blood tends to rush to our brain. So you don't want to just sit up right away, or especially sit up and then stand up. Let that blood flow get back to normal, or it'll make you a little lightheaded and dizzy. Very good. All right, so we've given a little break to our legs. Let's put one leg out front first, and we're going to start working on these legs one at a time. First thing we're going to do is just make a circle. This is strengthening the ankle joint. It strengthens and stretches that joint all at the same time. Stop and reverse direction. Very good. Now, point it forward and back. Flex and point. The other leg is relaxed. It's just sitting there. We're focused on one side at a time. It's called unilateral exercise. One side of the body at a time. We don't always use it, but it can be very effective. Now, point that toe and let's kick that leg up and down. Again, this isn't terribly hard to do, but it's a nice explosive exercise for that big walker muscle, the quadricep. Now, a little more dexterity involved here, back and forth. Working the hip again. Now we take both those and combine them to make, a big circle. Draw a circle with your foot. And of course, we always do both directions, switch directions. Try to make this as big and a consistent of a circle as you can. Whew, set that leg down. That leg should be tired by now. Put it back, let it rest. While it's doing that, we're going to work the other side. We start with our little ankle circle. Round it goes. When we do this one, we're trying to do a big circle, not a fast circle. You don't want to try and do these fast. You don't go super slow, but you don't go too fast. Let's reverse direction with that ankle turn. By the way, if you have wrist issues, this is a good one to do with your wrist too. If you have arthritis in your wrist. Very good. Now, point that toe forward and then pull it back. Point and flex. Keeping the leg as high off the floor as we can. If you see it starting to settle down like this, refocus and get that foot back up. Good. Now point your toe forward a little bit and let's do that one-sided flutter kick. If we were doing this with both legs, it'd be a flutter kick. This is just one leg, up and down, nice and high. Then hold it high and let's go back and forth. The whole key to getting stronger, the whole key to almost any exercise program is consistency, meaning you're doing it often enough that it does you some good, and also repetition. We do the same thing over and over and we get stronger. Let's make that big circle with this leg. Now if I started with my right and you started with your left, doesn't matter. Make sure you do both legs. Stop. Reverse. You might notice one leg feels a little stronger, has a little more endurance than the other one. That's fine. Set it down. Also, you might have one hip that has some issues or a knee that bothers you. That side of the body is going to be a little more challenging for you. That's all right. Let's go back to that little walk. This is our cool down. We've spent almost half the class so far on our legs. Now we're getting ready to move on to the upper body. Let's do a couple of jumps again for some high energy. And stop right there. Good. That's a great little 15-minute workout for your lower body. And if you wanted to stop watching now and go do something else, you've got yourself a great workout for your lower body. We're going to continue on and work the upper body. Now make sure when you're doing these classes, you're in a chair where you've got some room to the side. So you're not going to hit a lamp or something like that, because we're going to do some things that we don't get to do in our group class very much. We're going to do some outside movement, all right? So let's just start with your right hand forward like you're reaching out to shake someone's hand. Reach off to the side and then bring it across. Way to the side and across. Now, when you're reaching to the side, if you even want to reach a little behind, it's very good for the shoulder. I just have an open hand. This is kind of like a fanning motion. All right, let's bring that one down. Reach out with your other hand. Same thing. Clear across and bring it back. Now, you might hear or feel some rumbling and grinding and clicking, a little noise, snap, crackle, and pop, I call it. If it doesn't hurt, it's no big deal. It's just tissue. Maybe some of the tissue in your shoulder is rubbing against the bone, your ligaments, your tendons. No big deal if it doesn't hurt. Good. And relax. Let's drop those arms down to the side, and together we're going to hold them both up and draw little circles. Now, this is not an arm exercise, is it? Your arm does a little work. What's the main muscle group, the main joint working here? That's right, your shoulders. Your shoulders are doing the work. Let's reverse direction. These are difficult. These are challenging for your shoulders. When you get tired, remember, you get tired and then you try and do a few more, and then you relax. So when you relax, just swing those arms a little. We're going to do the same thing again, except we're going to do a little bit bigger circles. Raise them up, and we'll try and do kind of a medium-sized circle. Have to slow down a little because the circle's a little bigger. We're really focusing on shoulders, arms, and legs today. Let's reverse direction. Try and make them uniform in size. So you don't want to be doing a little circle with one arm and a medium circle with the other. Tired? Do a couple more. Good. Oh, your shoulders get tired fairly quickly. That doesn't mean you're weak. It just means that's a lot of work for them and they need to recover a little. Luckily for us, they recover quickly. All right, let's just let those arms hang limp down to the side. And give me some shrugs. Just shrug your shoulders nice and high. This will work those upper muscles, the trap muscles, the latissimus dorsi muscles. Those are important muscles. You don't need to know what they are. You just know that they help you move your shoulders. Relax. Now, let's do circles. Instead of going straight up and down, we're rotating kind of in a circle. And when you push your shoulders back, really push them back. This is very good for your upper back, and that helps your posture. Good. Now, let's swing those arms, except this time, one forward, one goes back. And relax. All right, we're going to start unilateral exercises with the arms, one side at a time. Let's start with the right hand. We're just going to go up and down. Again, that fanning motion, like you're trying to start a campfire and you're trying to get a little air in there. Don't go real fast, but again, you don't want to go too slow. I don't really care how high you go on this one. We just want a nice, steady movement. Good. Let that side rest. Do the same thing with the other arm. Now remember, we already did the ones out to the side. So we're focusing on the front, the frontal muscles, the front of the body now. Good. Relax. Take that right arm and draw me a fairly good sized circle straight ahead of you. We did this one off to the side. Now we're doing it to the front. Reverse. Good. Again, we don't try and do this fast. We try and make them nice, concise, repeatable circles that are very consistent. Relax that side. Let's do the other side. Try and make the ones you do with your left hand, your left arm, the same size as the one you did with the right. Again, I hear crunching and crackling going on. It doesn't hurt. It's kind of noisy. Stop, go the other way. As long as there's no pain involved, you're not hurting yourself. Doesn't matter. Just have to kind of ignore that. As we get older, our bodies tend to start making more weird sounds like that when we move. And that's all right. Relax. Both arms are relaxed now. Good. Let's do that little side thing we did with our legs. Let's do that with our arms. We're just kind of going back and forth. And don't bend your arms. Don't come back like that. Just keep them straight. And just alternate one on top and then the other. Great work for the shoulders here. Good. And we're going to swing those arms. Let them relax. Now try and have room next to your chair when you're exercising. If you've got a coffee table or something right there, maybe pick a different chair, get one of your dining room chairs or something, get where you can see the TV, but you're not going to bang into things. Very good. All right, let's shake our hands out a little bit. We're going to work a little bit on hand strength while our shoulders are resting up just a little bit. Good, so show me both hands like this. I want you to close into a tight fist, maybe not as tight as you can make it, but fairly tight, and then open them wide. You can see I've got my fingers spread apart when they're open. So just open and close. The fist wide open. Fist wide open. Good. Stretching the fingers apart like you're trying to make your hands as big as they'll go. Now alternate. One is open while the other one closes. This is good for your brain. You change the pattern, it makes your brain do a little work. Good. Now, hold those hands up and touch your fingertips to your thumb, one fingertip at a time. You go down, up, down, up, down, up, and then go back the other way. Once you establish the pattern, then we try and do this one a little quicker, because that makes our brain talk to our hands, and that's good for your brain. Anytime your brain is interacting with yourself, your muscles, other people, it's a good thing. Good. Swing those arms, let them relax, shake them out a little bit. All right, let's do a little stretch for your wrists. Now be careful with this one. If you've had carpal tunnel surgery or you have bad arthritis in your wrist, be very gentle. We're going to lace our fingers together like we're going to pray, and then you're going to push the palms forward as you straighten your arms, and just hold that stretch. Now, I can go quite a ways. I feel it in my wrist, but it doesn't hurt. It's just very tight. If that hurts you, back off a little. Don't push so far out. And then, here's a good test. See how high overhead you can go. And then just let them go and relax into that arm swing. So remember, the little walk was our relaxation for our legs. The arm swing relaxes your shoulders and arms. Good. We're saving some of the harder ones for your shoulders for last. We worked on our hands for a while to let these shoulders recover. These are a little harder. Let's reach up with one hand as high as you can, and then imagine you're hanging on to something like a shot put. Some of you remember track and field, that heavy iron ball, shot put. You're going to bring it down to your shoulder and push it back up. Straight down and up. Imagine something in your hand, whatever it is. A can of soup, a canteen full of water, a shot put, a dumbbell, doesn't matter. We're just using our imagination to add a little bit of resistance to this movement. Good. That arm rests. We take a hold of that object, push it up with the other arm, straight up. Great for your shoulder and elbow. Look how much range of motion we're getting in that elbow. Pretty much the full range of motion for that joint. Very good. Relax back to the first arm. This time we're waving back and forth, but I'm not bending my arm too much. Keep it relatively straight. A little bend as it comes over your head. Imagine standing out in a parking lot and you're waving to somebody clear across the parking lot to get their attention. You're reaching high so they can see you and you're making it a big movement. Good. Try that with the other arm. I've got my fingers spread apart a little bit so they can see my hand up in the air. This is so good for your shoulders, and we're getting a little stretch here in our side muscles too, your oblique muscles, part of your core. Good, bring that down. Let's raise both arms. Now, if you've got shoulder issues, you know how far you can do this. Let's make circles with both arms overhead. Kind of like you're getting ready to throw a lasso, but we're doing both arms at the same time. And then we're going to reverse. We don't keep them overhead for as long as we do out front or to the side, because this is one of the hardest things for your arms and shoulders, is to raise your arms overhead. It's a lot of work. Good. Gently bring them down. Let them swing. Very good. We're almost done. We're getting there. All right, so we can also work our core muscles a little bit while we're resting those shoulders again. So we're going to work the muscles right around your middle. Those are the abdominal muscles, also known as your core. And remember, this extends around your back too. It's like you're wearing a big wide belt of muscle that goes all the way around. So take your right hand and lean to the right like you're going to try and touch the floor, and you're going to feel that stretch and work these muscles over here. Get as close to the floor as you can. Careful with your balance. I don't want anybody falling off to the side. You're trying to keep the rest of your body facing forward. Sit up and go the other way. Just let that arm hang down. See how close to the floor you can get. I don't want you to turn your shoulder. I want you to keep that upper shoulder back. That's when you're going to get this stretch. Good. Now, if we sit up straight and reach all the way forward as we lean at the waist, you hinge at the waist and reach forward like you're diving in the water, and sit back up. Reach out and sit up, working the front and back muscles. Reach ahead and then up and dive and up. One more. Dive forward, reach up and relax. A little bit for your shoulders and your neck muscles. We're going to sit up straight. What we're going to do is tip our head one way or the other. Now I want you to go right and left. I want you to look left and right, go forward and back. I don't want you to do a circle. Don't make a circle. That's not great for your cervical vertebrae in your neck. Doesn't hurt to go sideways, forward, up and down. Don't make a circle with your neck. We're going to turn our head to the right as far as you can. Imagine you're standing at an intersection and you're looking to see if any cars are coming. Now let's turn back. Slowly turn to the left as far as you can. Breathing normally. All right, let's look back to the front. We're going to look up. Don't look too far. Don't try to look straight up. Just kind of look up to your ceiling a little bit without trying to look straight up overhead. And now we're going to bring our chin down to your chest and look straight down at the floor, as far as you can go. And bring it back up. All this is good for your neck. It's great if you're still driving and you need to turn to look to see if somebody's behind you. This one, we're going to tip our right ear to our right shoulder. So you're still looking straight ahead. You're going to feel the stretch on the left side as you turn to the right. You're just bringing that ear down to the right and then come back to neutral position and gently but firmly bring that left ear towards your left shoulder. Feeling the stretch down the side of your neck. Good. Come back up. Good. Let's go back to walking again. So we've done the feet, the legs. We've worked on the knees by doing lots of kicking. We've also worked on our upper body, our core and our shoulders and arms. We've even worked the neck a little. This is a very complete workout. It's always a great way to end with just an easy little walk to let your heart rate settle down a little bit. Make sure you get a good drink of water afterwards because you're going to be a little dehydrated. There you go. 30 minutes of great exercise for the entire body, and we did it all sitting. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Be safe.